you gotta turn out to your...
That burned my legs, but now watch, we're teetering.
Oh gosh, it's just going your way.
Yeah, it's
I have no
I'm
idea.
holding it.
Elena should go on the other side.
I can steady it. So you gotta turn out to your right.
Is that it?
Yep. Down. All right, go towards the barn.
Look at the...
Hit the ground. All of them. Lift your left side up. Left side up a little more, I think. That's way too much. So go lower. They're going to put more pressure on it lower. Put your way left. Just give some room.
So today is our sheep day. We are getting 7 Katahdin ewes. They are all proven ewes, so that's kind of good for us as beginners. We're also going to be getting a flock of Jacob sheep in about another week. So our fencing is up, the electric is on, and we're trying to just decide which pasture to put them in because we do have to keep them separated in quarantine for a couple of weeks to make sure that the bugs from each flock don't hurt each other.
You should ask if anyone has experience if we're overdoing it.
Yes, Ben was just saying, so if anybody has any experience or any tips, we are welcoming any of that because we're just unsure about a lot of things today. I honestly think though that the scariest thing about our day is our electric fence because it is running at 8 joules, which is super high. And it's doing that because we have fenced in so much land. We will show you what we fenced in. We do plan on rotationally grazing our sheep, and we're going to have 14 total, and 12 will be grazing constantly. So we had to have a really good system in place, but now we're just a little scared of the 8 joules, especially for our kids and our dogs. We have 2 new livestock guardian puppies, and they're not going to be ready for years. We are very aware of that. They have training to do, but we still would like them to be on a leash around the animals. I'm just so scared of them touching it. I don't really know what's going to happen. Everything on Google is very scary if a small animal or a child touches this hot of a fence. And we don't want to test it out on ourselves either because it just seems really scary. So I think that is the hardest part of the day, is this fence. And teaching our kids the safety and responsibility of having an electric fence like this turned on. Because we've had the fence now for about 2 weeks. We just haven't turned it on until today. So I guess we'll see how having an electric fence will go. So this is actually a few hours later. I had to kind of stop filming and just get on with our day. It's actually Sunday, so we're working on the Sabbath. And we had to get to church, and now we're back. Ben finished the ram shed, which is awesome. It looks so good. But we had our bunnies deliver her kits last night, and so I actually just haven't had a chance to check on them. I like to do this first thing after they deliver, but I just ran out of time, so I need to make sure everybody is doing okay. And I don't even know how many are in here. there's quite a bit of bunnies. I think there's 7. So I'm just checking to make sure that they are not over-groomed and that they're fed. And they are definitely fed. They have nice, plump little bellies, which is so good. So there is 8 bunnies in here. Wowee. Okay, the nest looks good. Everything looks really good. So 6 of the rabbits, 6 of the 8 have that star. That's interesting. I'm gonna cover them up. It's still cold out. Today is like 33 degrees. And so it's a little bit warmer in here even, but we'll just keep them covered. And Iris can decide to uncover them or not herself. There you go, buddy. So the last thing we need to do, hopefully before the sheep get here, is Ben is running up to our neighbor's farm. They have a lot of hay that they use for cattle that they're not using anymore, and that's not what we would feed our sheep. We have a first cutting Timothy and orchard grass mix, but we would use that hay for like a straw bedding basically for them. If they choose. They might not even use it, but we're gonna give them the option. So Ben's gonna go grab that. And then I guess our sheep are gonna be here in about 1 hour. So we're going to be shepherds really soon. So we are in our future ram shed. We aren't getting a ram with the group of sheep that we're getting today. The ram is coming in next week's shipment. Though we're only getting 1 ram, even though we have the Katahdins coming today, our ram is going to be a Jacob sheep. And obviously that's going to create crossbred lambs with this group of sheep today. And that's okay because the ultimate goal is basically terminal for those lambs. They will be sent to the butcher. We won't be holding any of those lambs back for breeding stock or anything like that. If we would want to do that, we would get a Katahdin ram as well. But that's just not what our goal is for this group today. Basically, we just want them for meat. And then with our Jacob sheep, I want their wool, I want their hides, and we want their meat too. But with that group, we can hold back some lambs for breeding purposes if we wanted. But this is a really nice little shed. Now obviously we're using OSB board, which isn't super weather resistant, so we might have to change some stuff out. But this is good enough for temporary, if that is what it is, if it's only a temporary structure. I think we can just see how long it lasts. We're definitely going to stain it brown to match the barn, as well as our chicken coop, and all the buildings are going to be stained brown to match the big barn. This is crazy. I'm pretty anxious, but I'm just mostly anxious about the fence. All morning long we've been like researching because we really thought we could turn our fence down. Like we thought it was going to be a dial because it looks like it's a dial, and we went to turn it down and it doesn't move. So we're like, okay, so we are stuck at 8 joules, I guess. And we're so worried about our dogs. Like really, our dogs is the concern. The puppies will grow up and be 80 to 120 pounds. That's fine. It's our healer. She's stuck at 45 pounds. Like that's her weight forever. And I just am like, she's so smart that I feel like she would just stay away from this entire area if she gets buzzed. So I hope that's not the case. And I hope that she's so smart that we can teach her to just not touch it at all. And then our kids are now very, very, very aware of how much it would hurt to touch this fence. So I don't know. I hope nobody ever touches it ever. Just a little paranoid about it. And then I also need to add in that when we had our fence people come and put it in, we did say there's a high pressure of coyote and foxes, and we're going to be putting this through the woods. We're going to have a lot of fencing, so they did everything correctly. And when we look it up, this is all right. This is correct. It just feels so much though for dogs and kids. So that we just have to be extra safe and take a lot of caution with our little ones. So if you look at where we are at right now, we are in one of the main pastures for the winter at least. It's basically like a stock pasture. They won't be rotating in here. This is what it is. And then over here will be the main ram and wether pasture after a couple of weeks of quarantine. And then over here is also fenced in. This is all a wooded pasture. And then in the back, we'll go there at some point. Down this trail is another, I think it's like 2 or 3 acres fenced in the back, and that is like an open prairie, basically. The back pasture in the field is where we will do the majority of our rotational grazing. Probably the only place we'll be doing grazing, because the pasture in the woods is just woods. It's so much wood, so I can't even imagine putting up that netting, electric netting. Sorry, in the background is snowmobiles. We live right next to a snowmobile trail, and it is like very busy today in the last week. The temps have gone up a little bit, so I think people are like trying to get in all their snowmobiling. But yeah, that back pasture is where the sheep will live 3/4 of the year. But right now, when there's just still a foot of snow melting, there's nothing to graze on, so they're just gonna have our hay here where we can see them and don't have to worry about them. As well as our dogs aren't going to be ready to be guardians for another 2 years. So they have a lot of training to do, and we are going to meet them, I think, after the sheep arrive, and then we'll bring them out and show you guys our new puppies.
So we can see. We say hi. Say hi. You want to say hi?
So these are our new puppies. They are both Great Pyrenees. They are livestock guardian dogs. They are going to be guardians for our sheep and our chickens, horses in the future, or any animal that we get in our family. They are only 10 weeks old right now, so they are babies. And they are so cute and they're so lovable, and their only job right now is to learn how to love our family. And we will slowly introduce them to the animals that we have here. I think we're going to start with chickens first, and we will always keep them on a leash, and then we'll start with a fence in between them, and then they'll progress to being off leash as they're older, when they're old enough to not chase animals anymore. Want to say hi? And basically these guys are going to be on a leash 24/7 for a very long time. And they are sisters. Who do I have? This is Valkyrie right here. Valkyrie, yay! And this is Freya, yay! So these girls are sisters, and we are totally aware of the litter mate syndrome or whatever. But all of their training will be done separate. We've already started like obedience training, and that has been done completely separate. And that is to help with that litter mate syndrome. Because we do have so many pastures, it would be amazing if when they're older and more mature, that we could separate them to guard more than one pasture at a time. And basically we got these guys because our coyote pressure is so high and our fox pressure, everything is so high. So hopefully with the fence being, 8 joules and these guys being around, that we don't get much of a coyote presence. That would be amazing. So all our lambs have been delivered. I didn't want to film during that time for the privacy of the farmer, but they're adapting, they're settling in. We've introduced our dogs. Kind of a big shocker is that they are all pregnant. They're going to lamb in March, and that is a huge surprise. I guess I just didn't understand that when they sold them to us. So we have that to look forward to and to research on even more. And we have some critical decisions to make, whether we'll be vaccinating or not for CDT. I'm not really sure. We've never had any animals on this land prior, so I don't know that it's totally necessary, but I also don't want to have a bunch of fatalities either. So we have to make some big decisions really soon. But I'm not upset about this. I'm just pleasantly surprised. So I think for the rest of the day, we are going to just let them settle in and adapt to their new life and their new sounds. There's lots of birds out today because it is pretty warm. So lots of new things for these girls to get used to.
Don't put it out there. Go ahead. There you go. Check it out. Come on. The previous owner said to yodel at him. Just we're on the same page, and I'm doing this because I think it's cool.